Hey guys, Vanessa here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this cute unicorn donut topper. Let's get started. So we're going to start off with some teal fondant, and for this I just had white fondant which I colored with some teal food coloring. I have links in the description below to all the items that I've used if you want to check that out. And we're going to roll it out relatively thick. Then we're going to take a large circle cutter, I think this one's probably about 4 inches, to make the shape for our donut. My fondant was a little bit too thick for the cutter, so I'm just going around with an X-Acto knife. And then we're going to smooth out the sides. And there you can see how thick it is. I'd say it's about 3/4 of an inch thick. And then we're going to take a smaller circle cutter for the center, and this one's probably about an inch in diameter. Okay, and then we're going to smooth that out as well. So we're going to move this aside, and then we're going to take out our fondant for the hair. And this we're using some neon pink fondant, and this I bought prepackaged. So we're going to roll it out relatively thin. And then we're going to take the same circle cutter that we used for the donut and cut out another circle of the neon fondant. And from this fondant, we're just going to cut out the hair. Now you can leave the fondant sitting for a little bit to make it a little bit more firm, so it's not as, it doesn't pull as easily as you see mine is there. Okay, and once we have the hair, we're going to place it onto the donut. You can use some water or some edible glue to attach the hair, but I just let mine sit because the fondant was pretty soft and was sticking on its own. And now we're going to work on the ears. We're going to take 2 balls of fondant that are the same color as the body, and we're going to flatten them out and cut off the bottoms. And then we're going to shape them with our fingers into a triangle shape. I tried to do mine more of a Hershey Kiss sort of shape because that's the way that I wanted to cut out the interior pink, and you'll see that later. So you can either do a simple triangle or you can do the Hershey Kiss shape. Okay, and right now I am adding some edible glue to the underside of the ear, and I'm just going to let it sit for a little bit. The longer it sits, it becomes a little bit more tacky. And I'm taking an uncooked spaghetti stick to use as support, and I'm making my initial holes on the sides of the head. And then I'll make holes and insert it into each of the ears. Okay, and this will just add a little bit of support for the ears to make sure that they don't slide around or fall off while that glue is drying. Okay, and then we're going to insert the ears onto the head. Okay, and then we're going to take another ball of the pink fondant and roll that out. And this is going to be for the inside of the ears. And I'm rolling this relatively thin. And I'm just going to let it sit while we do other things for the unicorn so that it becomes a little bit more firm for when I have to cut it out later. Okay, so right now, while that rests and firms up, we are going to work on the unicorn horn. So I'm going to take a little bit of corn flour. So this is my little corn flour baggie, and it works really well if your fondant is sticking to your work surface. You can just pat it out and it really helps with that. Okay, so we're going to take the 2 balls of fondant and then we're going to roll it out into 2 ropes that are of the same diameter, and then make sure that one end has a point. Once you have your 2 ropes of fondant with a pointy end, what you're going to do is you're just going to start twisting them together so that they start to take shape of the horn. And what I'm doing here is I'm just adjusting just to make it look the way that I want to, making sure all the layers are equal in size, and adding water in between each layer or edible glue to make sure that they stick and it holds its shape. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut it on an angle because that's the way that it is going to sit on the unicorn's head, as you can see there. And just make sure it's the right size that you want. And then I'm going to take a toothpick and skewer it through the middle of the horn to provide extra support for that, and also as a way to attach it to the unicorn once it's firmed up. So I'm just going to place this over to the side. And now we're going to cut out the inside of our ears. So I've let this sit for a little while, but you'll see that I didn't let it really sit long enough because it still was very stretchy when I went to cut it, which is fine. It still worked. It just made for cutting it out just a little bit more difficult. And once we have one cut out, we can use that as the template to cut out the second inner ear. And if you're going to be laying fondant on top of fondant, and especially if it's fresh and very soft like mine was, you want to make sure to dust that either with some powdered sugar or with some cornstarch so that they don't stick together. Once we have these cut out, we're going to attach it to the ear using, again, either some water or some edible glue. And now we're going to work on the sprinkles for the donut. So I did 3 different colors, but you could do as many as you want. So I did some purple, some white, and some yellow. And from these balls, we're just going to take a tiny little piece and roll it into little sausages, as you'll see here. And I did that with each of the colors, but I'm just going to speed through that so you don't have to watch me do that. And then we're going to attach them again using some water or edible glue to the hair area. Make sure that you leave some room in the middle area where you will be placing the horn. And next we're going to make the mouth. So we're going to take a small ball of yellow fondant and we're going to flatten it out to the shape of an oval. And once we've done that, we're going to attach it to the face. And next we're going to take a ball of black fondant that we're going to roll out for the eye. So we're going to roll this out relatively thin, and then we're going to use a circle cutter. And then we're just going to glue this onto the face. The second eye, we're going to use a smaller ball of fondant, and this is a winky eye, so we need to roll it out into a small little sausage which has points on both ends. Okay, and we're just going to glue that onto the face and then shape it in the shape that we want it to be in. Make sure with the black fondant that you don't add too much water or too much glue, because the color does tend to run a little bit. And we're going to take a smaller sausage of the black fondant and we're going to use this for one of the eyelashes. And next we're going to do the reflection. We're going to take 2 small balls of white fondant and attach them to the eye and flatten them out. And now we're going to add the eyelashes to the other eye. So again, we're going to take another small little sausage pointed on both ends of the black fondant and then just cut it in half. And then just add some glue and place it on the eye. Then with an edible food marker, I'm just going to go in and draw the mouth. Now when I drew this, the fondant was still a little bit soft, so probably should have waited a little bit longer. But she still looks cute. Now we're going to add the horn. So we're going to take a toothpick and make the first initial hole. Add some glue and then place the horn. Look at how cute she is. So cute. And now we're going to add the lollipop sticks in order to hold this up on a cake. So I'm taking this bamboo stick, which has a very pointed end, and I'm making the initial holes where I'm going to place the lollipop sticks. And then I'm just going to take them and insert them onto each side of the center hole. Once you've inserted the sticks, make sure to give it enough time to dry and to set before you try to insert it standing up. And there she is. She's all done. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please don't forget to give us a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. See you guys later.